So I'm just stopping in Norcross real quick to get some fuel. The trucks that we have here are Penske trucks. They're all lease. So when I need to stop for fuel, I have to go to Penske. No truck stop fueling. Actually, the employees of the company, they do have fuel cards. I'm not sure what kind of cards they are, but they can go to truck stops. But right now, and like I said, I'll explain all this stuff in time, but right now I'm a temp driver. So I do not have a fuel card, and that means that every time I need fuel, I have to go to Penske to get it. I'll tell you something. 285 at 4 o'clock in the morning, it's not a bad road. It's really not. It's, you know, once it gets to be 5:30 and everything after that, that's when 285 turns into a disaster. But if it's like 4 o'clock in the morning, it's really not that bad. I kind of like it when it's that early, because it just flows and it's nice. You actually get a glimpse of what it should be like during the day, but it never is, unfortunately. Other than that, I've been doing these like 2 and 3 day routes where I'll stay out for 1 or 2 nights, come back home on Tuesday or Wednesday, and then head back out on Wednesday or Thursday and stay out for the rest of the week. But yeah, this is my 3rd week on the job, and this is unlike any other truck driving that I've ever done. This is completely different than over the road. It's completely different than dedicated, any of that kind of stuff. The one thing I have that I can compare it to, or the one thing that I actually have a little bit of experience doing that's related to what I'm doing on this job, is, I don't know how many of you guys saw my videos back when I worked for that dry cleaning supply warehouse a couple years ago. And I would go out in their Class B trucks and make deliveries. I have videos of it on my channel. You should check it out if you're interested. But this is a lot like that. Except I'm not in a Class B truck, I'm in a tractor trailer. So that's the difference. I thought this place opened at 4. Well, that was a big fat waste of time. Okay, so I can't get fuel because they're not even open. That's ridiculous. It's like, it's almost 5 o'clock in the morning. They need to be open. So for the record, Penske and Norcross, they're not open. I guess before 5 o'clock. I don't know. I don't know what time they open. All right, Flowery Branch, stop number 1. It's 5:30. I'm doing okay. These first 2 stops, they're not actually part of this particular route. I'm having to like supplemental stops, because when whoever did the route the first time, and they came by here and they delivered to these two places, we were out of a particular product. It's a bag, it's like a certain kind of donut mix. I don't think I've ever been to this place before. And it's always interesting the first time you go to a place, because you have to figure out how everything works. You got to figure out where to go. And that's not easy to do in a tractor trailer. In case you didn't know that, when you don't know where you're supposed to go, yeah, it can get kind of hectic, it can get kind of stressful. I don't remember this roundabout, so I definitely haven't been to this place before. I've done this route that this store is on. I've done the route. It's part of a local route. But when I did it, I didn't come to this store. I had to get over kind of far just now so I wouldn't hit that sign coming out of that roundabout. There's a lot of that kind of stuff doing this. You got to be real careful. Use all the available space that you can use to keep yourself from getting in a sticky situation. It's challenging. I've actually had to do a lot of what I call reverse engineering in my brain to do this job, because you're actually going into a lot of places that they tell you to avoid in like truck driving school. I'm having to go into those kind of places to do this job, so you got to think outside the box. I'm going to places that you would never take a 53-foot trailer or a sleeper tractor. To me, the hardest part is just figuring out how to find some of these places, and once I find them, figuring out how to set myself up to get in and out of them successfully without hitting anything, without getting hit by anybody, and without getting trapped once I go to leave. You know, have to get in a good spot, set myself up to conveniently take the stuff into the stores, but at the same time not get stuck because a car blocks me or something like that, you know. I'm actually coming in the wrong way. I might be able to come in this way though. Let's see here. Google, you messed me up. And see, I'm using Google Maps to do this, and that's a big no-no. But truck GPSs don't work for stuff like this, so I have to use Google. It's over there on the other side of that subway. Good thing about this is it's still really early, so what I had originally planned on doing, and I should have been watching my GPS and I would have caught it, but I originally planned on coming in this way from this entrance right here and then taking a left turn to get on this side of this building right here. But that's all right. This will work too. And yeah, having a 45-foot trailer does definitely make a big difference. It's definitely a lot easier than having a 53-foot trailer, but it's still challenging, extremely challenging. Okay guys, done with stop number 2 now. Moving on to stop 3. Did I mention I'm running on paper logs at the moment, which is making this take even longer. Yeah, I am new, and like I said, I'm a temp driver, so they don't have me in their system yet for their e-logs, so I have to run on paper logs until they get that straightened out. They're working on it right now. Sooner the better, because I hate paper logs and it just makes the whole process take longer than it should. And anything that, you know, consumes time, I'm trying to cut it out. So when I'm able to cut out the paper logs, I'll be in a much better position, and I'll be able to do this a lot more fluently. But this next stop is going to be interesting. It's a big one. These first 2 were small because, like I said, they were just supplemental deliveries, things that should have been on the previous order, but we were out of stock. But this next place that I'm going to, it's in Helen, Georgia. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that area, but it's like a tourist town. The whole town is done up in German style, and it's an interesting place. Not only are the buildings not only are the historical buildings interesting in the town itself, the process to get in and out of this place is also interesting because, well, I have to back off the street into an alley. So basically, I'm coming from the south end of town in Helen. There is a small side street, it's not very big at all, that's coming off of the main street right there. Well, basically I have to pull up and position myself to back in to that small side street. Last time I went to this place, I wasn't able to do it because there was so much traffic. This time it's a little bit earlier. I don't know if that's going to help things or not, but with it being a tourist town, it might actually make the process a little bit easier, because maybe there won't be as many people out as early, but then you've also got like local residents going to work and stuff, so it's just a catch-22. It's a toss-up. We'll just have to go with the flow and see what happens. Stop number 3 out of 14. Let's get it done. Oh, I can't go this way. Not without doing a U-turn. So hopefully you guys can see how this is a lot different than standard truck driving. This is food service. Food service ain't no joke. Food service is one of the hardest branches of truck driving. I'm sure there's harder stuff out there. In fact, I know there is. But this is tough because you got the physical aspect of it. I haven't even shown you guys the back of the trailer yet. I was waiting for the sun to come up. You see how tight this is back here? You couldn't get a regular 53-foot trailer through a place like this. It just wouldn't work. All right. That dumpster was not there the last time I came through here. It looks like it's going to be a problem. Let me back up some. Why would you put a dumpster right there, knowing that trucks have to drive around back here? You can see the tire print on the grass where the trucks have gone up over the curb. I'm gonna have to do the same thing to get around this stupid dumpster. You see that? I would have hit that dumpster if I didn't do that. You got to do stuff like that in food service. It's just, that's the way it goes. As long as you're not tearing anything up, damaging the equipment, damaging property, damaging cars, then you're good. Just gotta be careful. You know, there's the whole situation with the grass. Yeah, I probably left a tire print on their grass because it's been raining, but if you don't want a tire print on your grass, then don't put a dumpster blocking the exit, the truck exit in the parking lot. Just don't do that. Yes, I just did a U-turn, and yes, the carrier companies, some of them will fire you for doing that, but with food service it's a little bit different. And people look at you like you're crazy when you do this. I bet you guys think I'm crazy, some of you. Unless you've done this before, and then you understand. But yeah, people look at you like you're insane sometimes because they see you're in a tractor trailer and you're literally pulling into some of these strip malls and stuff. I mean, places that would be tight for a box truck, and you're pulling a tractor trailer into it. People look at you and like you're insane. Like, what the heck are you doing here? Why are you here? What they don't realize is, yeah, this is a strip mall. There are businesses here. Those businesses need their products to stay in business. You are their customer. You are buying the product. I'm their supplier, so I'm delivering their product. People don't understand how that works. It's a very simple concept, but a lot of times people they just don't get it, you know? It's like, if I'm not here right now, then you're not gonna get what you want when you come here. Does that ring a bell? Do you want the stuff that you're coming to buy? Do you want to buy it? Is that why you're here? Okay, well, that's why I'm here. Sorry, I'm just venting a little bit because in the past 3 weeks, I've had some pretty stressful situations, and people have no concept of, I'm not saying everybody, I'm just saying some people have absolutely no concept of what's going on around them. I'll be trying to back the truck up in a parking lot, and I'll have cars just come and park right behind me. Like they don't even see me, like I don't even exist, like I'm not there. They'll just come in and get in my way and stay there, stay in my way. They won't try to move. And I mean, I really don't know what else to do but, you know, lay on the air horn at them, you know? Like, will you please move? Do you not see that I'm trying to back up? You see my four-way flashers on. You see me moving back, and you're gonna come get right in my way. Can you describe or explain the logic in that? Because that one is above my head. Like, that goes over my head. I don't get it. Alright, so I'll see you guys in Helen. Thanks for watching. This is, I think this is Blairsville. If it's not Blairsville, we're real close to there. It might not be Blairsville, but I've been here, I've been through here before. It's a nice looking town. Going around the center of it, I don't guess you'd call it, I mean, it's kind of a square, but it's got like this roundabout thing going through the middle of it. And I'm less than 10 miles away from Helen at this point, but yeah, I thought this was Blairsville right here, but it might not be. I know we're in White County. It's Cleveland. Okay, this is Cleveland, Georgia. It's just nice looking, it's interesting. I figured I'd get it. And just like that, we're out of it. Small place. I mean, we're not technically out of it, but pretty much. And then we're going to take a right turn on Georgia 75. This is US 129. I don't know if I said that, but we're about to get off of it and get on Georgia 75. Not the interstate, but the state highway. Right here. You see the mountains in the distance. Helen, 9 miles. Hiawassee, 31. Sorry about the sun. It just keeps becoming a distraction this morning. I'm glad to see it though, man. The past couple weeks have been, the weather's just been crazy. I mean, it's been pouring down rain every single day. And my job's hard enough already, but when you're trying to do it in the rain, it gets even harder. The stuff gets wet, and then the customers get mad because their stuff is wet and there's really nothing you can do about it. I might have to buy a tarp to cover over the pallets when I take them off the truck, but I haven't had a chance to do that. For the past 3 weeks, I've pretty much been going non-stop. Trying to learn things and trying to get the flow down. I think I'm getting better and more fluent with the flow of things, and most of the places that I go to, some of them are pallet drops, some of them I'll take the products off of the pallet, put it on a hand truck, and roll it in to the back of their store or wherever, and just drop it in the floor, and then they count it off on the invoice to make sure that it's there. But a lot of places that I go to, I actually have to take it off the pallet, put it on the hand truck, take it in the store, and then stock it on their shelves. And in that case, most of the time, I'm the one that's checking all the product off on the invoice to make sure that it's there. Sometimes they help me if it's a whole lot of stuff. Sometimes they'll help. But each place is different, you know. When it comes to places like that, it's usually the donut places that want me to stock their shelves. Some of the bakeries do too, but the restaurants, we go to a lot of Mexican, or I'll just say like Latino supermarkets, Latino bakeries, and most of the time I'll just do a stage drop, and basically that's just what I described, where I'll take it off the pallet, bring it in the store on the hand truck, and then just drop it wherever they want, and then they check it off. But it's the memorizing where everything goes, and memorizing how to get the truck in and out of their property. That's the trickiest part. Moving the stuff is hard, and it's hard on your body, but it's also really good exercise, and you start feeling good. And I like the heavy lifting stuff. I like it. To me, it takes the boring part out of truck driving. So I don't mind it. It is hard, and it's hard to get used to in the beginning. You're really sore, but at this point, you know, I've been doing it for 3 weeks, and I think, you know, I think I'm good with the physical side of the job. I can get faster with it too in time. It's a lot like the dry cleaning delivery that I did, as far as, you know, getting the product into the store on the hand truck. There's a lot of tight corners that you're taking with the hand truck, going around sharp corners with it. And when you, like, I won't put more than 400 pounds on the hand truck, because I done learned my lesson the hard way, trying to get around sharp corners. Look at that train. With the hand truck, it's just really hard to maneuver. And I mean, they've got these bakeries and these donut shops so cram-packed that it's a lot like the dry cleaning places were. With the dry cleaning places, I had to move a lot of hangers, and I had to move a lot of chemicals that were in these barrels and these drums and everything, and those were extremely heavy. But with the dry cleaners, there was just equipment everywhere. And then you had the clothes track, like the hanger track where they hung all the clothes, and they didn't want you to even brush up against the clothes. They didn't want you to go near the clothes. Sometimes you had to squeeze through like a wall and the track that the clothes hung on. And so it was just a lot of ducking under stuff, squeezing through things, and then taking tight corners to get around things. It's the same thing with this. Because just like the dry cleaning places would have like presses and all kinds of different things for dry cleaning the clothes, these bakeries and these donut shops, they have mixers, they have tables, and they've got crap everywhere. A lot of the stuff I don't even know what it is. but they do have a lot of those big mixers. They have a lot of ovens. I'll deliver at some places where they make bread. It's like a deli, and they'll make bread. And they've got these big bread ovens. So, I mean, I can't exactly film inside of any of these places, but I'm just trying to describe it to you. And the nature of, you know, what it's like when you got 400 pounds on a hand truck, which is like 8 bags of flour or 8 bags of sugar, and you're trying to squeeze it through all these different areas and go around these tight corners. They also have coolers in a lot of these places, and the coolers have glass doors on the front of them. So you have to be extremely careful, because you could potentially shatter the glass doors on their coolers going around some of the tight corners. So it's pretty challenging physically as well. There's also a business aspect to it, because sometimes we have missed pulls, or sometimes we're short, or sometimes we might have damaged product that the customer refuses to take, and then we have to adjust the amount on their invoice that they're actually paying. You also have appointments at some places, because some of these bakeries and places like that, they have specific hours. A lot of them close early in the afternoon, and when that happens, you're screwed, because if you get there late and they're closed, you have to wait till the next day, or you have to come back. You have to skip that stop and then come back. Sometimes you're backtracking. So it's always good to try to keep in touch with the sales reps and keep in touch with the customers if it's possible. Sometimes the customers don't want to talk to you. They'll only talk to the sales reps. I go to ice cream places too, cookie places in downtown areas or near college campuses. We're almost there. That's why I'm just running my mouth. I'm trying to keep you guys occupied or somewhat entertained, because we're entering Helen now, and I'm about to make that turn where I'll back up into that alley, the place I was talking about before. I've never done this before. I've been here once, but I was coming from the opposite direction, so I didn't have to back into the alley. But this time I have to, because I can't stop on the side of the road like on the main strip. I'll get in trouble for that. It's just a matter of timing. I gotta time it just right, because I have to watch the oncoming traffic and the traffic behind me to make sure that I'm clear. I don't have anybody to spot me, and I don't have anybody to stop traffic up here. But you see Helen right here, the town. I was saying that it's got like this German theme to it. It's really cool. It's a tourist spot. You've also got crosswalks coming through here. Let me put that up so you guys can see. It's like a mountain village. It's really nice. They've got they've got a river that runs alongside of the town, and you can rent inner tubes and just float down the river from one point to the next. It's pretty cool. In the summertime, this place gets packed. Okay, here we go. We're coming up on it. I'm gonna turn my 4-ways on. Get ready to back up. I'm a little bit edgy right now because I've got somebody behind me, and and I've got oncoming cars, I'm gonna have to do this quickly and swiftly, you know, just get positioned and get in it. I'm gonna try to get this guy behind me to pass me so he's not in my way. All right, here it is right here. Go around me, please. I got more cars coming up. A lot of them. Oh, great. Now I got oncoming cars. I gotta wait on them. More traffic coming up behind me. I gotta do this fast. It's like up a hill. Now I just got to get positioned right. Further over to my right side. So I'm out of the way. That road is not exactly straight. That's what's screwing me up. And there's a tree. Like right there. There's a fence right there. I don't want to come off of the road. And I also don't want to get too close to that stupid fence. I can't see anymore. That tree's in my way. See, I don't know if he normally parks on the other side or if he parks right here. I'm about to call him and find out. Hey, when you're after you back into the alley, do you park on the left or the right side?
I park right there on the left hand, on the right hand side with the stop sign there.
All right, that's exactly where I am. All right, cool.
Yeah.
That's LeVar. He's the guy that trained me. He's a good guy. He's a nice guy. All his customers love him. I'm trying to get to that point. I don't think, well, some of them, they don't like me very much because I'm new. And they don't understand that it takes time and effort to get this job done. It's a rough job. All right, I'll show you guys the back of the trailer. And like I said, I can't take you into the place, but I'll show you what I can at the moment. Lift gate. I'll have to call you when I get. All right, later. So they're getting 20 cases of frozen, and the way I'm parked, that's gonna be hard to get off because all the frozen stuff is on the other side of that pad, that insulator right there. There's a side door. But the thing is, I'm gonna have to pull it off with the hand truck and then come around the front side of my truck with the hand truck. So I'll let you guys go for the moment. I gotta get this done quick. That's all the stuff they're getting back here. That's a lot of stuff. All right, guys. Whew. Sweat. All I'm doing is sweating profusely. I just got me a good workout though. I did that in about an hour and 15 minutes. The main pallet that I took off that I showed you guys wasn't the problem. It was all the frozen stuff. They had 20 cases of frozen pastries, and well, look over there. You see that tree? There's no room on the right side of the truck because I have to be all the way over here so cars can get around me when they turn onto this road. And yeah, I had to keep squeezing in and out of the cooler. I haven't shown you that, but I have a door on the passenger side of the trailer that gives me access to the cooler. And I had to keep climbing up in and out of the cooler, pulling those cases off pretty much one by one. I mean, I can stack them at the door and then climb down the ladder and pull them off, put them on the hand truck, take them over to the pallet with the pallet jack. And that's what I did, but I moved those cases like 3 times. just to get them into their cooler. And it just took a long time to do that. It was ridiculously tedious. But guys, this is the kind of job that's like for a masochist. Like, you have to be a masochist to like stuff like this, but I like it. I'm actually having fun. It is so much funner than regular truck driving ever could be. It really is. It's fast-paced, it's action-oriented, it's very physical, it's very strategic, and it requires skill to do this. It can be stressful, it can be aggravating, but it can also be a lot of fun. And I'm having fun. I had fun when I delivered the dry cleaning products. I thought that was a blast, especially when you start moving, you know? When you first start doing it, it's like, man, I can't do this. This is impossible. Like, how do people do this? But then, you know, the more you do it, the more you start to like it, the better it gets. And I haven't even talked to you guys about the pay yet. I'm gonna get to that later on in the video. Look at all the cows. I'll get to that later on in the video, and I'll go over how the pay works. But I'll just start by telling you that I don't have to worry about mileage anymore. I don't have to worry about salary anymore. I get paid by the hour now to do this. So I'll go over the numbers with you later on, but yeah. I made it through that stop. That's a pretty tough stop right there. It's pretty tricky, and like I said, that place is so cramped when you go in there. It's like, how on earth do you expect me to put this stuff away? That's a restaurant, by the way. That's a German restaurant. All right, I'll see you guys a bit further down the road. All right, guys, we're getting out of here. Leaving Clayton, Georgia, and we're going to Candler, North Carolina. And I really hope that my landing gear doesn't get caught right here, because this is pretty steep. I'm gonna have to put it in first gear. This next place we're going to is crazy, and I'll show you what I mean. It is like, well, if I can get the truck into the right gear, it's a crazy place. It's a place that a tractor trailer has no business going. But, you know, I have business there, so I have to go. But it's not a place where you would take a tractor trailer, just put it that way. This last place that I just left, he was a nice guy, the customer. I went to deliver at his store, and he's like, well, actually, you know, if it's frozen, it's got to go somewhere else. I've got another address, and I'll meet you over there. It's right down the road from here. So I was like, okay, I can do that. And that's where I just left, that shopping center right there. But okay, here's an example for the business side of things, okay? He was supposed to get 10 cases of frozen, like jumbo size frozen donuts, and they weren't on the truck. they were on his invoice and he got charged for them, but they weren't on the truck. I couldn't find them. So basically when that happens, I gotta make a phone call. I gotta let them know what's going on. They have to do a little bit of investigating on the warehouse side of things where the truck got loaded. But what I have to do is adjust the amount on his invoice. So because he's short 10 items that he got charged for, I got to take those items off and give him his new total so that he can pay us. And so that's part of the business thing. But also, here's what's funny, here's what's weird. He was helping me pull stuff out of the freezer back behind me, and he ordered 30 cases of regular sized donuts and he only got 22. Well, if you look at the invoice, it says that he is 8 short because we're out of stock on that particular item. So they didn't charge him for the 8 that he was short, but because he was helping me unload the trailer and get the stuff out of the freezer, he saw that there were more left on the pallet that we were pulling his stuff off of. He saw it. He was like, why are they shorting me 8 cases if you've got 8 cases right there? In fact, it was 10 cases that are still on the trailer. And I was like, well, they could belong to somebody else. Somebody else could have ordered them. But they could have just made a mistake on your invoice, and those could be the rest of the 30 that you ordered. I honestly don't know. The only way I can tell is if I look at the invoices for the other stops that I have for that particular item. If they're not on there, then I'll go ahead and give you them. I'll go ahead and add them to your invoice, and you can just pay the difference for the 8 extra cases. And he was like, well, I don't want you to do that because you might get in trouble, you know, especially if that product that's left belongs to another customer and you give them to me, then you could get in trouble for that. And I was like, well, dude, that's why I'll check the other invoices, the other orders. If I see them on another order, then obviously they're not yours. But if they're not, then that means they made a mistake and they are yours. So I can go ahead and give them to you. And he was like, no, why don't you do it like this? Why don't you finish your route, and if you have those left, come back through here and just drop them by the same place. I'll meet you here again tomorrow when your route's done on your way back to Atlanta. And I was like, well, theoretically that's a good idea, but I have a backhaul to pick up in Spartanburg, South Carolina tomorrow, and it's gonna be all that I can do just to make it to that backhaul on time after I finish all these stops. Not to mention that even if I make it there to get loaded, I'm only gonna have so much time to get back to Atlanta. I'm not gonna have time to come back here. I have a federal clock that I have to work by. I can't go over on my hours just so you can get, you know, 8 cases of donuts. I can't do that. And not to mention that, you know, the total for those 8 cases of donuts, because I'm picking up a backhaul and I'm gonna be fully loaded, it would cost more for fuel to come all the way back over here than it would for us to just send them to you on a courier, or for you to just get them next week when the next driver comes through here. So that's what I'm talking about. That's a good example of conducting business with the customers. So this is a 3-folded job. You're driving a truck, you're offloading trailers and stocking your customers, but you're also handling business matters. And a lot of times you'll be doing things that the sales reps would do or should do if they were around, or they were able to if the customers were able to contact the sales reps. It's really a sales rep kind of mattered to handle something like that. And that was one option that I gave him. I was like, look, if I have those left on my trailer tomorrow, I'll try to set up an appointment with your sales rep and just have him meet me somewhere on my way back to Atlanta, and then he can bring them to you if you want to do it like that. But I can't come back through here. That's not part of my route, and I don't have time to do it. Not to mention that it would be burning a lot of diesel to come all the way back over here from 85 just for 8 cases of donuts. It's not worth it. Anyway, I just wanted to talk about that real quick. That was a good example of how you have to conduct business sometimes. And I mean, you want to keep the customer happy, you want to satisfy the customer, but at the same time you want to use common sense, and it's not practical to do something like that. If I was in a little bitty box truck or something like that, then it might be different, but I'm not. I'm in a tractor trailer. And I'm going to be fully loaded when I come back down to Georgia tomorrow. So anyway, I'll show you guys this next place. Show you how crazy it is getting in and out of here. I came to this place last Friday and nobody was there to get their stuff, so I'm just hoping that they're there today and I don't have to wait on anybody. That seems to happen a lot too, where I'll go to a place to make a delivery and nobody's there. So then I have to call my trainer, who then has to call the sales rep, and then they have to try to get in touch with the customer to find out if they can be there within half an hour or something like that. But you know, every one of those little half an hour waiting periods eats away at your 14-hour clock. And I need every second out of my 14-hour clock to get this whole load off of the trailer, you know, by tomorrow. That right there, that's Hiawassee. Actually, that's Rabun Gap School, but there's a campus around here. It's a college campus. It's Hiawassee, and my sister-in-law is gonna be going to school there this coming school year. That school year that's coming, she's got a scholarship. She's gonna move up here and stay in the dorms at Hiawassee. So that's really random, but I just found out about that, so I think that's pretty cool. It's a nice area up here, and you're not very far from North Carolina at all. Okay, Candler, North Carolina. Next exit. We're up here now. So it's 12:30. That means I've got just under 6 hours left. And I need to get at least 3 more stops done before my 14 hours is up. The one after the one that we're about to do is in downtown Asheville, and it's gonna be an interesting one. It's a big order. The place we're headed to now in Candler, it's a pallet drop, so as long as the people are there, it's not gonna take long to get this one done. The hardest part is going to be backing into their driveway. That's right, I said driveway. This is like just wait till you guys see this. It's crazy. I'm basically going to be taking a dang tractor trailer into a trailer park. Which, I mean, it kind of makes sense if you think about it, because it's a trailer park and I'm taking a trailer into it. So, I mean, how did all those trailers get there to begin with? They had to be hauled in by a tractor trailer, right? So it only makes sense. Well, it really doesn't make sense, but that's what we're about to do. We're about to go to the trailer park in a tractor trailer. Oh boy. Alright, I did this last week. There's no reason why I can't do it this week. These roads are so small. I'm hanging out on both sides. And here comes a big pickup truck to make things even better. Yeah, you're looking at me like I'm crazy. It's not me. I'm just doing my job. Gotta watch these mailboxes on some of these tight corners. The signs, the tree limbs. The mailman. That's I-40 up there that we're driving under. Need to get in and out of here as quick as possible. And like I said, backing into their driveway, it's no simple task. I'm still getting used to driving a 10 speed again, if you guys haven't noticed. It's been like 3 years since I've driven a manual tractor. Yes, I'm going down the road that says no outlet. What the heck am I doing? See, you would never do this in a truck normally. Go down a road that says no outlet in a dang neighborhood. That's a nice house right there. Okay, it looks like there's actually people here now. It's right there. Yep. They got it opened up for me this week. This is a very, very, very tricky backup right here. This crap is hard to do. It really is. In fact, I mean, I want you guys to watch me do this, but at the same time, I don't. Whew. Okay. Let's just get it done. There's a ditch to my right that I can get stuck in. And where I'm backing into this driveway, there's a ditch on either side. So gotta be real careful. And there's a drop off over here on my side. I did this before, I can do it again. I'm gonna have to cut it hard once I get on their gravel. I'm gonna not there yet. There's a mailbox right there. Okay. Try to come straight back now. But gotta be real careful because there's a ditch on the other side. All right, I'll get back with you guys. Oh my goodness, you guys. Oh, that was a pain in the butt. I mean, it was easy because it was a pallet drop, but I had to hang on, let me do this first and then I'll try to explain. I'm trying to figure out how I'm gonna get out of here. This is gonna be hard to do because there's a ditch right there. You see that ditch? I can't just leave this way. I have to make sure I cut it hard enough so I don't hit their building, but then I have to get around this stupid ditch right here, and that I had to back up in between those two ditches. God, I hope there's nothing back there. And then they've got cars. So I can't hit, if I hit that freaking gas tank back there, I'm screwed. So I'm gonna have to make small adjustments. There's a freaking gas tank back there. So I gotta squeeze in between it and their garage. I got plenty of room. I'm not gonna hit the garage, but I am concerned about that gas. I turn my diff lock on. Yeah, see, that's the bad thing about having a shorter trailer, is that it turns faster. So I got this SUV right here. If I can just get straightened up, that still ain't gonna be enough. Yeah, they're probably gonna have to move that SUV. If not, I'm gonna end up hitting that gas cylinder. They're gonna move it. This is crazy. I don't know what to say about this. This is crazy. Because if I go back any further, I'm gonna hit that gas cylinder. But at least now, if they can move that, I'll try to get the tractor moved more this way and then straighten back up. how you do it. In the trailer park. Trucking into trailer park. Oh gosh, I was so close to that ditch. Oh my goodness. At least the people around here don't mind me. I'm getting smiles and waves and stuff. But where we're about to go, we're about to go to downtown Asheville. It's not too bad. Now I've been to Clemson, South Carolina. I've been to Greenville, their downtown areas. I've been to Greensboro in their downtown area, and Winston-Salem. And out of all those, the one in Asheville is not so bad. There's what you call loading zones. When you get into downtown areas and you got like actual city blocks, you've got what you call loading zones. And it's just like parallel parking by the sidewalk on a city block. Like imagine a city block with a sidewalk. You got cars in front of the sidewalk parallel parked at the meters, the parking meters. This is the same thing. It's just one big long space, and it's called a loading zone. There's like signs for it. There's painting on the asphalt that says loading zone, 30-minute max or something like that. Well, you'll also see where it says no parking loading zone, and that's just telling the cars, don't park here. This is a loading zone. This is for trucks to unload and load from these storefronts. And the bad thing is you'll still have cars parking in the loading zones, and when that happens, I have to park elsewhere. Sometimes I have to park in the parallel parking spots in front of the meters, and we will get parking tickets from time to time. It's normal. The company pays for them, but you know, it is what it is. It's just another food service kind of thing, I guess. Oh, right. So I forgot to tell you, that place is a pallet drop. It's supposed to be simple, in and out. Well, they have a gravel driveway, as you saw. That electric pallet jack is not meant for anything other than like concrete or, you know, just regular hard surface road. And so I backed in where the part where I cut the camera off. I backed in and I got close to their garage, but I guess I didn't get close enough. I dropped the lift gate and there was a rubber mat on the ground covering up the gravel. So I just figured, you know, the way they normally do it is they'll just roll over the rubber mat. Well, the rubber mat wasn't covering the concrete going into the garage. There was a little bit of dirt, and I took that first pallet off and it dug right into that dirt and I couldn't get it out. And it had at least 20, maybe 30 bags of flour on it, and I just had to off stack the pallet to get it unstuck. I had to restack all those bags, so it ended up being more complicated than a pallet drop when it really didn't have to be. I have to next time I go there, I have to get closer to their garage close enough so that when I extend the lift gate, it actually touches down on their concrete inside their garage. That's the only way I'm going to be able to do it without getting that pallet jack stuck. So yeah, it was a pain, but it's my fault. I'm trying to think, I'm trying to remember if I remember going this way or not. I don't remember this. So here's the thing. There's two different ways you can come in. One way you come in and the place is on your left, and then the other way you come in and it's on your right. I need it to be on the right side, obviously, because I have to stop on the curb and unload. I don't want to be taking anything across the street, so I'm trying to figure out how to do that, because originally the GPS was trying to get me to go in the other way, and I don't want to do that. So I changed it thinking, well, this is probably the way that I came in last time, but it's not, because I don't remember any of this stuff. And that bridge that I just came off of when I made that ridiculously tight right turn just now, I don't remember that at all. I hope this way is good, because I know the way that I went last time was good. I'm just hoping this way is good. I haven't been this way. Last time we came in from further east off of I-40, and we got on the main strip and we drove straight into downtown. It's called Biltmore Avenue. That's the road it's on. I'm gonna have to take a left turn up here, and I hope I have enough room to do it, because downtown is that way. I really have a hard time overthinking things. It's not a bad thing, it's just you can't do that with this job, or you'll be moving like a snail. Sometimes you just gotta go for it, you know? It's so busy right now. When I came last time, it was early in the morning, but it's ridiculously busy now, and I just have a feeling that there's gonna be cars parked in that loading zone. Even though there's a big no parking sign, they'll do it anyway. It's not right. And if that's the case, then I'm gonna have to figure something else out quickly, because I don't want to be passing this place and having to turn around and come back or anything like that. If I have to, I'll park right there in the street. And if they ask me why, I'm gonna say there's a car in the loading zone, so I had nowhere else to park. And that's about all it comes down to. I mean, that's why when you see no parking zones, don't park there. There's a reason why they don't want you to park there. This is it. This is the main street that we drove up to get here, but we came from the direction behind us. See, I was further west when I came this time, so I didn't come in the same way. I'm glad I caught that before it was too late. put these ice cream places in the most inconvenient locations for trucks. It's crazy. The one in Greenville was terrible. This one is not so bad as long as there's a place to park, you know. It's not bad at all. And this shouldn't take too long to do. It's about a mile up on the right, but this is Asheville right here. And you guys know, if you watch my videos, you know I hate doing this. I hate driving that close to the sidewalks, but I don't really have a choice here because I'm gonna have to get over anyway. Right up here, I'm gonna have to be in the right lane to do this. Normally I'd be in the left lane coming through a place like this. For reasons like that. Look at this leaning telephone pole. Please be open. Please be open. 3/10 of a mile. No illegally parked cars. Come on, please. Alright, it should be at the end of this block. And it's got cars parked in it. Great. Okay. So I believe I last left you guys outside of that ice cream shop in Asheville. Well, that was when things started to fall apart. So I'll tell you what happened. I pulled the pallet off the trailer and it had another stop on the bottom of it, and it had that stop on the top of it. But the guys in the warehouse, when they staged that pallet, they decided that it would be a good idea to put a bunch of pails on top of a bunch of bags and then shrink wrap it, like go around it with the shrink wrap like maybe once or twice. And naturally that didn't work so well because I went around the curb to get up on the sidewalk, and the sidewalk is on a hill, so there's an angle, and I tried to do it as easy as I could But as soon as I took that sharp curve to get up on the sidewalk, all that crap fell. The whole pallet collapsed right there on the sidewalk. Well, really, it wasn't even on the sidewalk. It was like more like in the street over the crosswalk. And there were people like standing right next to me when it happened. So thankfully, the stupid crap didn't fall on those pedestrians, because it could have. And I usually will keep a roll of shrink wrap on me, like in my trailer, but they just recently swapped trailers and put me in hooked me up to this different trailer, and I left all my stuff in that other trailer, so I don't have any shrink wrap on me, or I would have wrapped it some more. But I shouldn't even have to do that. They should do that in the warehouse, and they didn't do it. So needless to say, I ended up spending about an hour at that stop because I had to sort out all of the products from the two different stops that were on the same pallet, and it took a while. So I ended up having to move a bunch of heavy crap a couple of times over to get it all back on the trailer, and then get the stuff that was going to that ice cream place into their store. And well, that leaves me with 7 stops for the day. Now I'm up here, I'm just south of Asheville now. I'm in heading toward Hendersonville. That's where I'm stopping. That's where I've got me a hotel room. I'm gonna spend the night there, and I have to start really early in the morning. Once again, I've only got 4 stops left, but like I said, I have to get down to Spartanburg, South Carolina, to get loaded to take that back haul back to Morrow. It's kind of challenging to film while I'm doing this because it's just so much to keep up with. And like I said, it's fast paced. It's exhausting. It really is. It's a lot of work. But that all ties into what I said I would go over at the end of the video as far as pay. Because this job is no joke. This is the hardest job I've ever had in my life. It really is. It's very challenging. And I'm okay with that. I'm trying to get better at it. It's difficult though, and it's stressful. It's stressful enough to just do the job normally, but when the warehouse starts making mistakes and you start missing stuff on your orders because they mislabel things, it messes you up. And then the customer gets mad because they're not getting what they ordered and they need it really bad. Otherwise, why would they order it? So I dealt with that a couple times today. I did have 14 stops on the trailer, but I actually met up with my trainer and he took 3 of them off. He's gonna do 3 of them for me tomorrow. So that leaves me with 4. Normally, I probably would have been able to knock all 7 of them out and get back tomorrow before I ran out of time, but because of the whole backhaul thing, he's just not wanting to take any chances with it. I have to be there for the backhaul. I have to be there. And I need to be there as early as I can. I have until 3 to get there, but I need to get there earlier than that. Otherwise, I might not make it back tomorrow night. I might be out here on Saturday, which is no good. So today was rough. Tomorrow hopefully won't be quite as bad as today was. I mean, I've got half the amount of stops tomorrow that I had today, but there's no telling how long it's going to take for me to get loaded at that place tomorrow. I don't like doing the back hauls because you have to get live loaded. That's the only time that I'll ever get live loaded, is if I'm doing a back haul. And the place I'm going to is first come, first serve, so there might be a line of trucks and I might have to wait. I'm slowing down. This is Interstate 26 right here. I wanted to get it because it's pretty cool. There's a lot of sharp curves and steep grades and everything. Oh my gosh, what was that all about? It's pretty up here. Very nice. I don't know what the heck that minivan's doing. But yeah, I'll show you guys my room and everything when I get there. I stayed at this place before. I think I already said this, but they got this Mexican restaurant. It's really good. I'm gonna get me some Mexican food. Might as well. Today's payday. Might as well celebrate. And I don't work on the weekend anymore with this job. That's another thing I really like about it, is that I don't work on the weekend unless something messed up happens and I get stuck out here and I have to finish my route or something like that. Granted that I have enough time on my 70-hour clock to finish the route. My first week here, I worked 65 hours in 5 days. So most nights out of the week, like the weeknights, I'll be staying at hotels. That's another great thing about this job, is I don't have to sleep in a truck. I don't have to worry about finding a parking spot at a stupid truck stop. I don't have to worry about any of that stuff. They get me a room, I get me some food, I take a shower, and I pass out and get up the next morning and start it over again. But typically I'll be working about 60-65 hours a week. And I know I mentioned that this is an hourly pay job, but I don't think I mentioned that overtime is included with that. So anything over 40 hours is overtime. And don't worry, I'll give you the actual numbers at the end of the video. I think you guys are going to be impressed. So I don't know, just by watching the video, I know you guys aren't watching me actually work. I'm just filming while I'm driving. But I don't know if you guys can actually tell how rough this job is, and like just how tough and strong you have to be to do this job. Yeah, you really have to be physically strong, physically capable to do this job. And I'm not exactly there, but I'm trying to get there. Alright, we reached the hotel. This is my truck stop right here. This is where my truck stops. I love this hotel. Looks like there's already trucks parked where I usually park. That's not good. So all the other food service companies, they get their drivers hotels too. Don't worry, one of these days I'm gonna stop grinding gears, but not today. So there's the hotel. It's the Best Western. And then I turn here for truck parking, if the car will get out of my way. Both cars. This is where we park, back here. Curtains don't close all the way. So guys, this here is my room. It's nice. Remember when I used to sleep in a truck every night? Well, I think all that finally paid off. This is my room. The last time I stayed here, my room didn't have a couch. I think that's awesome. You know, it's pretty typical standard room, but it's clean, it's nice, I'm happy with it. And I got some food. This Mexican restaurant's awesome. It's expensive, but it's good stuff. After a hard day's work, get some good food going on here. You sit on your couch in your hotel room and just relax and eat your expensive Mexican food. Think about your family, your day. I got a lot too. This is really enough food for like 2 people, but I do that so that I've got something to eat tomorrow and I don't have to stop for food tomorrow, because that just takes extra time that I don't have. So here's what's up. So you can order this combo thing there. They've got all kinds of stuff. I mean, they've even got like seafood, Mexican seafood. But here's what I get. I get 2 beef burritos and 2 chili rellenos. And then I get an order of queso, salsa, and chips. And it's good stuff. I'm about to eat. I'm hungry. I haven't eaten all day. Been too busy working. So anyway, yeah. I'm gonna eat, take a shower, and pass out, because I got an early start in the morning. I gotta be at this next place at 4. So yeah, I'll catch up with you guys again tomorrow. I'm probably not gonna film as much tomorrow as I did today. So yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thanks for watching. Morning guys, welcome back to day 2. I can't call it a load really, because it's like several loads. So what would you call it? A manifest? I guess you'd call it a route. Day 2 of this route. I knew that deep down, I just couldn't get my brain to work right. I'm done with all my stops. I'm in Marion, North Carolina. I've got to get down to Spartanburg, South Carolina to get loaded at that backhaul, for that backhaul. and then I'm gonna take that to the city of Morrow. I realized that I keep saying I'm gonna take that to Morrow, and that confuses people because Morrow, I don't mean like the next day, I mean like the city, Morrow. But sometimes I do mean the next day when I say tomorrow. I don't like the name of the city. It confuses people. It confuses me. That's where I dispatch though. So I'm always gonna be, you know, saying tomorrow, but I guess I'm gonna say to the city of Morrow to make it less confusing. Anyway, I've had quite an interesting morning. It is 10:30 now. I started at 4 again, and I only had 4 stops, but the first one was very, very difficult to get in to the place. It was in Hendersonville, North Carolina. Like, and I don't mean like the part of the city that has grown out. I mean the old town part of the city, like the downtown part of Hendersonville. All the streets are very tight and narrow, and I had to back into a parking lot from off of a road. But not only did I have to back into the parking lot, I had to do some really special stuff, and it took probably about 20 minutes for me to get positioned right, because basically what I had to do was unfold my lift gate and get it as close to this door stoop, like a little deck outside of a back door of one of these bakeries. I had to get it as close as possible, and then I had to move everything off the trailer onto my hand truck. Like, I had my hand truck on the back deck of the place, and I just moved the pallet back to the back of the trailer and piled it on the hand truck and moved it in there. It was a pretty big order. It wasn't huge, but it was pretty big. Very tight confinement inside of the place. But man, they hooked me up with some kind of caramel bear claw or something like that. It had like caramel in it. You guys got to know what bear claws are, right? They're kind of like cinnamon rolls, but they're way better. And I don't know why the gear just grinded. I was at the right RPM and the right road speed. I don't know why I did that. I guess I didn't rev it hard enough. Anyway, this bear claw thing, it had caramel in it, and it also had like this pecan paste on it with fresh pecans. Oh my gosh, it was so good. I don't think I mentioned this yet, but a lot of these bakeries and donut shops that I deliver to, they hook me up with free donuts, free drinks after I'm done unloading. They always ask, well, not all of them, but a lot of them always ask, you want something to eat, you want something to drink, and they just hook you up. But I gotta be careful or I can become a diabetic very quickly. Always eating donuts and stuff. So normally, if I get a whole bunch of them, like one day I got probably 30 of them. And if that happens, then I usually just give them to people, give them away. I try to find homeless people and just give them to homeless people. That kind of thing. So it's pretty cool. Most of these people are really nice. Some of them are not very nice, not very friendly. The place I just delivered at in Marion, I was bringing everything in on the hand truck, and I had a big pile of stuff on it, a lot of heavy stuff. And I came up to the door and the owner of the place was sitting by the front window on his laptop, and I was at the door. I had my hands full, and it wasn't just a regular kind of door. There's like a kind of like a hallway going toward the door, so it's kind of narrow, and there's a what do you call those things at the bottom of doors, that those like lumps on the bottom of doors to seal them so no cold air can get inside, like a door stoop or something like that. But it was pretty big, and it's kind of hard to get those hand trucks over some of those door stoops if you're pulling the hand truck. If you're pushing it, you give it a good push, you get a good head start on it, it'll usually go over the door stoop, the door stop, I don't know what you'd call it. So I was facing, like, the hand truck was in between me and the door, and it was a pull door. I mean, you could pull it either way, but I didn't want to get, you know how the hand truck has a metal plate on the bottom of it. I didn't want to push that up against his glass because I didn't want to break the window on his door. So I stood there, and he looked up from his computer and just stared at me, and didn't really react. I mean, here I am, I'm standing here, I got my hands totally full, I'm delivering your stuff, and you're just gonna look up and stare at me and not open the door for me? Okay, whatever, that's fine. But you are a jerk. By the way, you're a jerk, but whatever, you know, you're the customer, so I gotta respect you. At least while I'm there, I have to respect you. But yeah, it was just messed up. Like, if you see somebody with their hands full, why wouldn't you try to help them? Even if they're working, you know what I'm saying? Even if they're getting paid to do what they're doing, I'd still try to help them. Because I would have had to pull the whole hand truck out of that tunnel, turn around, and pull it in to his door, which, like I said before, it's real hard to get the hand truck over the lump that's underneath the door stoop or whatever. So yeah, it was just kind of messed up that he did that. I mean, he just stared at me, and he had this look on his face like, if you think I'm gonna help you, you better think again, boy. He had that kind of look on his face. So at that point, I kind of just pushed the door in with the hand truck since he didn't help me. And as I was doing that, one of his employees ran from behind the counter and grabbed the door and opened it for me the rest of the way. But yeah, after he looked at me like that, I was like, okay, screw it. I'm just gonna push her. I'm gonna push on your glass since you won't get the door for me. Because once you've got all that weight on those hand trucks and it's pivoted like that, balance is very, very crucial. And like I said, I'll put about 400 pounds on that hand truck. You have to be productive. Otherwise, you're making way too many trips and it can take forever. So balance is very crucial, and if you're not careful, you gotta watch the way that you're holding the hand trucks when you have that much weight on them. And at the same time, you know, as I was coming into this place, he had a lot of customers in there, and the front of their store is about as big as the cab of this truck. I'm not even joking. Like, that's about how much space they have in the front of their store. It might be a little bit wider, but it's not much, you know, longer as you're coming in. And he had customers in there. So you gotta squeeze in between people. You're balancing 400 pounds on a hand truck, and you're squeezing between people, you're squeezing between counters, shelves, racks. It's rough and it's awkward, and people stare at you like you're insane. Some people look at you with they just give you these pitiful looks like, oh man, don't hurt yourself. That's another thing that I was gonna say about the hand trucks, is because, like, if it goes one way or it goes the other, you gotta let it go. Don't try to hang on to it if it's got that much weight on it, because you'll tear your shoulders, you tear your lower back, the muscles. Just let it go. Try to hang on to the stuff that's on top to keep it from toppling over, but just let the thing go. It's not worth trying to hang on to it. You hurt yourself. I learned that whenever I was delivering dry cleaning products. But yeah, going back to the whole pitiful looks and stuff, some people look at you like, man, they better be paying you a lot of money to be working like that. Well, they do. And I'm finally going to get to that part of the video that I kept telling you guys I'd get to. So let's talk about pay. I've already told you that I get paid by the hour now, which is absolutely wonderful. And when I get paid by the hour, I don't mind working 70 hours a week. It's not the work that bothers me, it's the pay for the work that I'm doing that bothers me. Well, with this job, I'm happy to tell you guys that I make $28 an hour to do this. And I'll make $28 an hour usually up until Wednesday, toward the end of the day. And then I'm usually at 40 hours, and after that I get paid time and a half. I get paid overtime, so that's $42 an hour. So like I was telling you guys before, it's not out of the ordinary for me to work 65 hours in 5 days. Like this week, I'll be pretty close to that 65 hours. At the end of today. Today's Friday. Woo! It's Friday. You're happy about Friday when you get the weekend off. The whole weekend. Not just Sunday. So yeah, if I work 65 hours in 5 days, before taxes, I don't have insurance right now because I'm still new. I have to be here like 90 days to get insurance, and I don't even know if the temp agency I work for offers insurance or not, but I'm trying to get on with the actual company, and they do offer insurance, and it's very expensive, but I don't really mind that much because I get paid so much to do this. But the total before taxes and everything else is like $2,200. I'm pretty sure it's actually a little bit over $2,200 in 5 days. Now you tell me. I've never made that much money before until now. After taxes, 65 hours, they take a lot of taxes out because you're getting a lot of overtime. That's 25 hours of overtime, so they take out a lot of taxes. But after all that stuff, it comes out to about $1,700 after taxes. If I can get this job and really get good at it, it's gonna change my family's life. Because if you compare my income now to my last job. My last job, after I told you guys it was $900 weekly guaranteed. Well, after taxes, after insurance, I would end up with about $630 a week for 5 days. And on the days when I did have to work on Saturday, or on the weeks when I had to work on Saturday, it would come out to about $730, something like that. For 6 days. And we're talking about the same amount of time, 60 to 65 hours. I'm not working any more now than I was at the last place, but I'm making almost 3 times as much after taxes. So you guys, I'm set up now. All I have to do is get better at this job, more productive at it, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm struggling because it's so difficult. I'm really trying. I'm giving it 110% effort, and I'm still struggling with it because it literally is that difficult. But I'm happy with it, and I actually enjoy doing the work. When I'm not stressed out, when I'm not running short on time, when I'm actually nailing stop after stop after stop, I enjoy it a lot. It's fun. It's way more enjoyable than regular truck driving ever could be. I think my problem with truck driving is that you're always sitting there. You're never doing any physical activity, and I have to do some physical activity. And then you can have the argument, well, all you got to do in a truck is stop, you know, and take your 10-hour break, and then get out of the truck and get some exercise. Well, that's not always possible, you know? And after you've been driving for 11 hours a day, after you've been working for 14 hours a day, all you have time to do, especially when you're local, is go home, take a shower, eat, and go to sleep. You don't have time to exercise. So you got to look at it like that. It's like I'm getting paid to work out, to get a good workout every day. I'm getting paid for it. Getting paid well for it. So it's definitely a good job. It's just hard. And the difficulty level of this job for average people, and I consider myself an average person. I'm not very strong, and I haven't been very active since I became a truck driver 5 years ago. I haven't been very active at all, except for when I was working at the dry cleaning place. So I'm pretty out of shape, and you know, I'm not an athletic kind of person. I've never been an athlete. I've never played sports or anything like that. So I consider myself pretty average. I've never even really gone to a gym to work out. Maybe a couple times in my life have I gone to a gym to work out. So for average people, the difficulty level is so high that most people would say, I cannot do this job. If you are somebody that works out on a regular basis, or if you're an athlete or somebody that's used to being extremely active and like extremely physical, then it might not be such a big deal for you if you're like that. But if you're not like that, most people would just give up and say, you know, I'm gonna hurt myself, you know, I'm gonna if I keep trying to do this, I just can't do it. I don't have it. I don't have what it takes to do this. And part of me is saying that about it, because I don't know if you guys know this, I have a bad right knee. I have a couple of tweaked discs in my back that I've had to get injections for. I've been in some pretty bad accidents. I was in a rollover accident a couple years ago, and I had a herniated disc between my shoulders, but I got an epidural injection for it, and it helped it a lot. But yeah, I've had 4 knee surgeries on my right knee. I don't have I don't have my meniscus anymore on the inside part of my knee. I still have the outside meniscus, but not the inside. I've torn my ACL in my right knee. I have a cadaver ACL. So part of me is saying, you know, I really don't know if I have what it takes to do this. But I'm very stubborn and I'm very determined. So at the same time, I'm telling myself it doesn't matter if I think I'm able to do this or not. I'm going to do this. And if I can't do it, then I'm gonna stay here until they tell me, look, you need to try to find something else. That's basically what I'm gonna do. I'm not gonna leave until they make me leave. I'm gonna come to work every day, ready to work. I'm gonna do the best I can. And so far, they like me. Even though I'm not as quick as the guys that have been doing it for years, they like me. And they know that I put forth all the effort that I have to get the job done. They know that. And they like me. My second day on the job as a temp, they gave me an application. They're like, fill this application out. Turn it in. If you want this, you can get it. We're offering it for you. So it's not even that I think I can't do it. It's just, it's gonna take a long time for me to get to that level to where I'm as quick at it as my trainer is. I mean, he is quick. And like I said, his customers love him because he's just so proficient at it. I mean, he has definitely found the trade that he should be doing. He's definitely doing the right thing, and he loves his job. And I've never seen somebody work as hard as this man works, and he loves it. I want to be like that, you know. So anyway, I'll shut up now. I know I've been talking for a long time. I'll shut up. I'll get back with you in Spartanburg, and we'll head to this back haul, get loaded, and then I'm going home. I'm gonna take it to the warehouse, and I'm heading home for the weekend. So I'll see you guys in a bit. What's up, guys? I'm here. And unfortunately, like I said before, sorry, I didn't mean to drop you. First come, first serve deal. I don't miss this stuff. So basically, I didn't want to sit out there on the street because I was blocking traffic, so I pulled in to the entrance here, and I realized that if I pulled behind this guy, then I would be blocking, because it's not just an entrance, it's an exit. They really need a wider gate That would solve the whole problem. But I didn't want to sit out there on the street because I didn't want to block traffic. So I pulled in behind this guy, and then a truck tried to leave and I was in his way, so I had to pull up, and now I'm sitting in the freaking grass. But at least I'm not blocking the road, and you know, I can't go up any further. You guys see my mirror. I can't go up any further. I'm gonna hit this guy next to me. Sorry, phone call. That's a whole other different kettle of fish right there. My lift gate is toast. It's old. It needs to be rebuilt. The bearings and everything are all worn out. I had to get part of the plate re-welded earlier this week. The hinges on the lift gate, I'll have to show it to you sometime, but yeah, when I first started a couple weeks ago, they had me with a nice trailer, beautiful lift gate, huge lift gate, and it worked perfectly. And then this week they swapped trailers on me and gave me this piece of crap. It's worn out, it's old, the reefer doesn't work as good on it, and the lift gate is worn slap out. And so the switches, it's all the mechanical stuff, but now it's the switches on the lift gate, they're going bad or something, because I can't get it. I can get it to go up and down, but I can't get it to like extend or retract without standing there for 5 minutes just messing with it, going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, and then finally it'll go in or it'll come out. And I'm thankful that it just started doing this at my last stop, my very last stop. It wasn't giving me any issues yesterday. If it was, then man, that would have really caused some issues. But I made it here. It's just a matter of waiting. I don't know how long I'm going to be sitting here. I don't really need to be here any more than 2 hours. But we really need this backhaul. We're out of stock on this stuff, so I have to get this load back down tomorrow, the city. I have to get it down there because we need this stuff. So I don't know how long I'm going to be sitting here. I just hope that I have enough time to make it back to Georgia, because I want to go home. I don't want to be out here another day. This is just crazy. Like, they need a wider gate. They need a wider gate here, and if they're going to be accommodating for this many trucks, they just need a better situation altogether. Because you can't really have trucks sitting out there in the street. I mean, there's a railroad track right there, and if I'm blocking the road and people are trying to pass me, they can't see if a train's coming. That's dangerous. That's why I went to the desperate measure of pulling up all the way into the grass, because I don't want to be out there on the road. I don't want to get in trouble for that. So I don't know. I'm gonna sit here until they load me, I guess. I get paid by the hour, so not like it really matters. I mean, it does because I want to go home, but hopefully, you know, it doesn't take any longer than 2 hours. I can just get in and out and go. I'll let you know. Well, I'm back in Atlanta, just like I said I would be. And according to Google, I'm about to sit in a 30+ minute delay because people can't drive. And there it is, you're looking at it. right there. Just east of the I-85 interchange onto 285 on the north side. Yay. 32-minute delay, it says. So basically, all this is what's standing in the way of me going home. I can make it. I've got the time to make it, but it's not a good situation. It's just not. One thing I don't miss about having a clutch pedal down there is this, the traffic. Yes, I can float the gears. Before you even ask, I can float the gears. Sorry, yeah, I get those now while I'm driving. I never used to get phone calls like that, but I do now. I have to answer them because it's about work, and I gotta talk to them about work and stuff. The past week, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, the past week has been extremely rough. And I'm just trying to keep up and keep my head above the water, so to speak. It's a lot. And the biggest issue that I'm running into is having enough time on my 14-hour clock to get all the stops done and then get back here. Because the way it is usually is like they want you to get up to, say, Charlotte or further than that. This is the way Monday goes. They want you to go all the way up to Charlotte or further because they've got 2 routes going up that way. One of them is in the Charlotte area, and then the other one goes, oh my gosh, hang on. So he was just calling to ask me which route I would rather do, the one that goes further than Charlotte or the one that hangs around the Charlotte area. And here's the issue with it, okay? They want you to get these stops done in 2 days because they're saying that the trailers are being loaded lighter than normal because it's summertime right now, and so things are kind of slow with the bakeries. Product is moving slower than average from what it moves the rest of the year. So lately they've been taking these 3-day routes, splitting them up into 2 different routes for 2 different trucks and wanting them to get it done in about half the time. Well, I think I'm better off if I don't have to drive as far. I would rather do the other route, the one that goes past Charlotte. But because I'm having issues with balancing the time that I spend unloading the trailer versus the time that I spend driving, and having enough time on my clock to get everything done in time, the less I have to drive right now, the better. The better off I am. Because you see what happens on the road. So yeah, guys, I had a long week. I had a long week. I'm trying to get it over with. I'm still 45 minutes out from Morrow, and like, this is what happens. This is why I'm having issues. I know this isn't the only reason, but this is one of the reasons why I'm having so many issues with this. It's because of the traffic. It's because of the accidents that are constantly happening on the interstate, because people won't put their phones down, or they won't slow down, or anything else. I'm not trying to put it, I'm not trying to make you guys listen to me whine. I'm just trying to explain the deal. Like, I already told you earlier that I had to give my trainer 3 stops just so that I would be able to grab the back call on my way back to Atlanta today, and that's what happened. If I wouldn't have given him those 3 stops, then I wouldn't have had time to if I wouldn't have given him those 3 stops, then I would not have had time to do this. And I felt bad about it because he already had more stops than me, and then he took 3 more from me. So I'm gonna have to change my strategy with how I'm doing this. I'm gonna have to make some changes, and I have an idea about what I need to do to try to move faster and get the stuff off the trailer faster. But it's still gonna take a little bit of time. I mean, the one good thing about it is I've already done the Charlotte route. I did it this week. So, except for the stops that I didn't have this week, all the other ones I've already been to. So I'll know where to go and I'll know what to do. If that makes any sense. It's like, the more I do the same route, the better I'm gonna get at doing that route. The faster I'm gonna get at doing that route. Because I'll start to memorize everything. And my trainer keeps saying, oh, it's not hard, it's easy, you just throw this stuff off the trailer. Well, he's been here with this company for 7 years. I've been here for 3 weeks. So for him, no, it's not hard. But for me, it's dang near impossible. So, I mean, I'm doing the best I can, you guys. I want to keep this job, obviously, because the pay is so good. And like I already told you guys before, it's like so much more money that it could really make some changes for the better, some financial changes for my family. It could change our lives. But, you know, at what cost? At what other cost? The cost of my sanity? Not that I'm that sane to begin with, but, you know. And I like it. I like doing the work. I like the job. It's just, it's so much. It's not that I can't do it. It's just the volume that they expect you to do it at is unrealistic for somebody that just started doing it. It's a food service kind of thing. Like this guy in front of me, he's got a lift gate. He probably does something similar to what I do. These are touch freight jobs. They're a lot different than regular truck driving jobs. The standard for performance is much higher, because you're not just driving a truck, you're actually doing work. You're doing real work. And I'm not saying that driving a truck isn't real work. Obviously, I know it is. I've been doing it for 5 years. But this is a lot more than just driving a truck. It really is. And I know you guys are tired of staring at the back of this Martin Brower trailer, so I'm gonna let you go. Thanks for watching my video. It was not a very good video, I admit. But I mainly just wanted to talk about the new job. I wanted to catch up with you guys, let you know about what I'm doing these days. I'll see you guys next time. I don't know when. I'll try to figure out a better solution when it comes to filming. But I mean, I'll be honest with you guys, this particular job, it doesn't really, it's not really that compatible with making YouTube videos, you know, at least not the way that I've been doing it this whole time. It might be good to capture short stuff and just show you crazy stuff that happens out here. But you know, as far as like a vlog or something like that, it's not compatible, because I'm just so busy. I can't really focus on the videos. I just have to focus on my work for right now anyway. So we'll see you guys in the future. I'll let you know what's going on, give you an update on how my status is and how things are going with this job. Thanks for watching.